Just making sure there's no Lego bricks in the way.
Yeah. So the screen frozen, but we're back. Mine says mine will be live in 2 minutes and 13 seconds.
Well, that's when we set it for, isn't it?
Ah, yeah, see you.
Right. Oh, how are we? Oh. Can we see? I don't know if we can see Kurt. Can we see Kurt?
No.
Ah. What if we angle you slightly?
Just trying to look at my phone.
Hold on, hold on, hold on.
Maybe the camera a little bit closer.
You'd be lucky. We can hear you, Kurt.
Well, I can test that.
Yeah, I know, we can test that. We can test that.
Yeah.
Right, hello all. We're really bodging it together tonight. Hi Ben, thanks for joining us. Green Flower, hello there. Michael, hello there. So I actually have Kurt right here. He's a little bit
No.
I don't know if we can.
It's very bright.
Yeah, you're a little bit bright, Kurt. Can't even lie to you there. I'm going to eco mode maybe.
Well, I can see myself through my phone screen on the live.
You can see yourself. Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, I can see myself just about.
Oh, hang on. I wonder if we turn this down a bit, whether that becomes any better. Might clear up.
Yeah,
Might clear up. Might clear up. Might clear up. That's slightly better. Slightly better. So we are.
Yes.
I've got such a bright light in here. I probably shouldn't have quite a bright light in here, to be honest. I should probably have a slightly smaller light. Yes. Welcome everyone. It's our first live stream in a couple of weeks. Michael, I'm doing very, very well. Very, very well. We thought we would go for a nice late evening one, and I thought I'd bring Kurt along for the ride. So I haven't actually seen the boys in 6 weeks now, where they're in lockdown and I'm still at work. I haven't seen them in 6 weeks, which is a real bummer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to keep turning to look at him. It does feel longer, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does feel longer. It does feel longer. But how are we doing? Well, how are we doing? How are we doing indeed? So we wanted to do a nice live. We don't mind going live. It's been a while. What are you doing today? Doing an overnight challenge in your conservatory. God, is it not too hot for that? I'm boiling in here. I'm absolutely I'm going to be sweating bricks during this. I dread everything when it's like in a conservatory. A conservatory. Yes, we're on another live. It's been a while since we did a live, but we actually want to be talking about today some of the really devastating news that's come out from UK theme parks. We thought we'd bring Kurt along for the ride. I'm sorry if you can't see him. I'm hoping you can hear him all right.
Okay.
Can you hear him all right? I'm hoping you can hear him all right. He's turned up nice and loud, so I'm hoping you can hear him all right. And yeah, it's been one of those weeks, hasn't it? It's been an awful week for UK theme parks in terms of announcements and delays. And what else can we be expecting? What else can we be expecting? Hopefully a few more people will join us shortly because we went slightly early and going live. If you can't admire Kurt's fish tank, these are fish tanks.
Yeah, I've got one each side and then a gecko tank in the middle and then some more fish tanks over there.
Yeah, let's turn them up a bit. Turn them up a bit. So yeah, M&Ds is one of the ones we wanna talk about. It's a real shame about M&Ds. I was a bit worried about them when this all started out because obviously they said they were going to they might struggle. They said they might struggle M&Ds, and it's all gone wrong. It's all gone wrong. So we'll go. What we want to look at today. We want your input as well. We want to look at Paultons Park. Paultons Park, obviously delayed Tornado Springs until this time next year, and then you have M&Ds as well. M&Ds in Scotland. It'd be interesting to get people's views on M&Ds in Scotland. It's not one that I think that we've ever been to. I say think, we've definitely never been to it, and it's not one I've heard great things about. To be honest, Adventure Wonderland, yes, absolutely. Will it send Adventure Wonderland over the edge? That's a very, very good question. Will it indeed? And then of course there's other projects as well. Let's not forget there's a 10 looping coaster opening at Flamingo Land, which was due at the end of June. We know it was due at the end of June because they changed the ticket price. One day it was like 40 quid, next day it was like 45 quid. So that was the day it was going to open. And of course all work has stopped at Flamingo Land as well. On top of that, we've got 2021 projects. You know, I can't imagine Thorpe Park are losing much on their Black Mirror attraction. That'll be set for the year. But will Black Mirror open at Thorpe Park? Because arguably it's going to be an indoor attraction with people walking through quite close to each other. Who knows? Who knows? And then, of course, Chessington World Adventures are due to open. They're dropped out in 2021. Of course, you know, that's down to whether or not, you know, they can get the manufacturer of the part of the actual thing itself, because they've probably stopped production as well. There are other possible struggling theme parks, like Water Valley mentioned there by Ben. I would probably say Oakwood are going to fall under that as well. And yet it's great to see some of the theme parks you know, doing some extra work. So Pleasurewood Hills posted this week that they were doing some extra work, doing some extra painting and everything too. So yeah, you know, it's a really strange time at the moment. I'm sure everyone is aware. And yeah, you know, this is what we want to talk about, guys. We want your input. What do you think will be done to fix the annual passes? People have already bought passes, extended passes. Yeah, so Merlin, if you're on about the Merlin ones, Merlin have already said that if it's shut between 1 and 4 weeks, you get an extra month, 5 and 9 weeks, an extra month on top of that, and so on and so on. And I think they're expecting to be shut for a maximum of 3 months. Of course, Alton Towers and Merlin did actually say this week that they were looking to open on June the 1st. That's the proposed date for the opening of the Merlin parks, which is a bit of a surprise actually, because obviously it's half-term week the week before, and we don't really know what's going to happen. Do you think Pleasurewood Hills will close? Pleasurewood Hills is doing quite a lot of work behind the scenes, it looks like, so I'm fingers crossed they don't. Oakwood is safe, I hope so, because we haven't been there yet, and I really want to get on Megaphobia. I should be gutted. And will the bigger parks buy out some of the smaller parks? I don't think anyone's buying M&Ds, I'm not going to lie to you there. Heard rumours about Winter Wonderland, yeah, we've heard those rumours as well. And of course we were going to do a fair, live, and we need to do a fair live, Kurt. We need to do a fair live. But you know, with so much theme park news this week, it seems we can't not address it. So first, Paultons Park. What do we think? Who was heading down this year to Tornado Springs to see the wonderful new Storm Chaser, the Cyclonator, and indeed some of the fantastic work they've done at Paultons Park? You know, the press event got delayed about it's about a month ago actually. I think it was about the middle of March they announced that was being delayed. And then obviously now they've said the whole area is not going to open until 2021, which, you know, is devastating for us. It's devastating for them. I know they've put 3 years planning's gone into Tornado Springs, including 18 months construction. That's how long they've been doing it for. That's kind of, you know, for a little park. You've got to remember, we talk about the independent parks struggling. Arguably, Paultons Park is one of those independent parks. And yet somehow they're pulling out this massive Tornado Springs.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kurt. Yes, they are. He's going to be a barrel of laughs on this one, isn't he? Absolute barrel of laughs. So, Tornado Springs. Let's talk about Tornado Springs. What do you know about it? Tornado Springs, as we said, Storm Chaser. They've announced it. I mean, we kind of knew anyway, as the UK's first Mack free spinning roller coaster. We put some pictures on when we did the news that it was shut. It wasn't going to be open until next year. Sorry, we did put some pictures on of the trains and indeed some of the up-to-date pictures that have been shared via Paultons Park communications, and it just looks amazing. The whole area looks amazing. This Cyclonator we've seen in action as well. We've seen it with people on as well. People have been on the Cyclonator already. And I wouldn't mind people have been on Storm Chaser as well. I don't think we're going to find that out, but I bet people have been on Storm Chaser. That Cyclonator looks like it goes as high as Vortex at Thorpe Park, which is insane to think for a little park, you know, Paulton's family theme park. It's insane to think that they're doing that. Yeah, really, really insane. You were heading to Tornado Springs press. Hopefully it'll be good in 2021. Can't wait. Merlin invested a lot this year. Do you think lack of return? Well, I think it will just be another excuse not to develop at Thorpe Park, won't it? And you don't think Storm Chaser's tested yet? I honestly don't know. I honestly don't have the answer. I said I know the trains were on site quite a long time ago, but I mean, you know, it all shut down very, very quickly. Great Yarmouth Pleasure Beach. Did they get a new ride in this year? Because they got rid of Moolan. What new ride were Great Yarmouth Pleasure Beach getting this year? I can't remember. You remember?
I have no idea.
Because they failed with the Air Max 360 last year because Fantasy Island took it back. What were they getting this year? Did I see it? I swear I saw an image of some kind of prototype. You on it, Kurt?
Yeah, I'm trying to
on it. Paulton's posted a video to say, oh, that's a shame. That's a real shame, that is, that they haven't got to ride it yet. It won't be long though, will it? The Manceys will be all over that. We were planning to do Paultons this year, made a brilliant job so far. Absolutely they have. Hi Crispy, yes, bad news about M&Ds. We'll come on to M&Ds very, very shortly. Storm Chaser not tested yet.
It doesn't come up on their page, on their website.
Yeah, I wonder whether they're going to...
It's just all about the closure as soon as you go on it. That's all it's all about.
I wonder whether... I remember seeing a prototype. I don't know if it was a Zambella ride that they were going to be getting in down at Great Yarmouth Pleasure Beach in Great Yarmouth, oddly enough. And I can't remember which one it was. I'll have to do some more research on that. Yeah, well, Storm Chaser must have been really close to testing. I imagine it's gutting for them. That ride is going to be fantastic, and I can't wait to get on it. Valhalla as well, yeah, indeed, it's another one to come on to. Valhalla as well, will that be delayed? Could they be working on that now?
Oh, it's that weird aeroplane ride.
It is a weird aeroplane ride, yeah. Have you found it?
Sort of.
Okay, there's a weird aeroplane ride coming to Great Yarmouth Pleasure Beach, people. A weird aeroplane ride. You don't get that anywhere else.
There's a little model picture. There's nothing major on it.
No, I don't think whether they I don't know whether or not they've done it. Be interesting. But yes, of course, Storm Chaser wasn't the only one. The Cyclonator looked incredible. That was definitely testing. That's had people on it. That looks absolutely amazing. You've got a couple of drop towers as well. And you've got Al's Auto Academy. You've got the Wave Runner, which is going to be in there as well. So yeah, you know, Tornado Springs delayed till 2021 is disappointing. It's disappointing as much for them as it is for us, I would definitely say. I was really looking forward to going down there this year, but we will, you know, touch wood that everything's open. We will definitely be going to Paultons Park this year, 100% to support what is our local park. We also our local full theme park is then. But yeah, be really interesting to see. There's a good behind the scenes look there here. I love the behind the scenes, love it. Yeah, Kurt's here.
The ride was going to be called the Lightning 360 and be controlled by the user.
Oh.
Yes.
I don't think they're going to get that now. But we'll wait and see. Valhalla is open in 2021 because it's the anniversary of the park. That's certainly the plan. And if they manage to open theme parks, how will social distancing work? Well, oddly enough, you know, this is something we touched on. We touched on during our last vlog, because during our last vlog, the theme parks had actually introduced social distancing, and inside the park, they've done a really good job at marking out all the floors and everything like that. The biggest problem was getting into the park, because you know, people start queuing at theme parks from 9 o'clock when they open at 10. I understand that, and Legoland was particularly good at letting you in, and Legoland would let you in, and you could go in and walk around Miniland, and they could have done it. But it just happened on the day that this pandemic started. Legoland left everyone outside. So if the theme parks are to reopen, they are simply going to have to cater. They are just going to have to cater for people to arrive at the park at 9 o'clock. They are going to have to open so people can go around the park, or they're going to have to queue people in cars and tell them not to get out until a certain time. That is how I see it working at a theme park. Once inside, it worked really well. You know, Vampire was at every other row, for instance. So yeah.
Legoland had a lot of markings out.
Legoland had a lot. Chessington had a lot as well. And people were using a lot of common sense. It really helps when people use common sense. I can't lie to you there. People really need to use a little bit of common sense. Should have Chessington open the rainforest, and will the drop power? Well, obviously the rainforest is opened. They wanted to show it off the rainforest. I mean, you know, it's ready. That's the best part for Chessington now. It's ready, and you know, the good news is that the animals that have moved now will be really settled in by the time the park opens. So it might be a good thing for the rainforest, to be honest. It might be a good thing for the rainforest. The pirate ship was supposed to be built at Chessington. As far as I'm aware, that was already on the way, built in transit. So I wouldn't mind betting that's already there. There's little point in Chessington announcing that it's there or doing everything, because it would then get everyone's hopes up that they could go back and ride it sort of next week. So I don't think that's the case at all. Do I think 2020 editions will be advertised as 2021? Well, this is what we're looking at. I mean, Paultons Park are there now. I have a feeling that Flamingo Land are going to be there very, very shortly. You know, further down there, we've got Black Mirror as well at Fort Park. Interesting. Literally my only criticism of Paultons when I went last year, the Dino Safari ride. That didn't work. That's a bit of a shame. That is a bit of a shame, actually, because I thought Paultons were really, really good generally at keeping them up. We didn't actually go to Paultons last year for whatever reason. We didn't actually get there last year. But I remember the year before, it was really, really good. Really, really good. What will happen to Legoland? Well, Legoland are obviously due to open their new land next year as well. You know, they started construction already. Yeah. What are we going to see? Are we going to see everything in 2021, or is all this going to be delayed until 2022? Yeah, I don't know.
Hopefully 2021.
Difficult one. And as I said, Black Mirror, I don't know. Fright Nights is a whole different topic. Halloween, we'll cover that on a different one. But Black Mirror probably falls under that. And again, when we went to Chessington, Rise of Light Safari were shut, and all the play areas were shut. You know, funny enough, Toon Blast was open, which I was a bit shocked about, but all the other ones were shut. Do you think Drake Manor will have a big investment to get older customers back to the park? I think Drake Manor might be struggling a bit during this. Yeah, I think Drake Manor might be struggling a bit. Their hotel's been their big sort of income, and there's no one there. There's no one there. You know, G-Force, they had a ride lined up for G-Force, which was supposed to go in this year when the other one was removed, which is why G-Force sat there standing but not operating for a year. Yeah.
I've seen a post the last few days about people wishing Klondike had stayed there instead of G-Force.
Well, I mean, well, yeah, I'm not too sure about that. Loggers Leap demolished in 2030 now. You say now, it's probably due about then anyway. Yeah, Drake Manor, I've got to do something Drake Manor, bless them. I'm sure they did a drone shot, didn't they, at the beginning of the year? I'm pretty sure the River Rapids ride is still there at Drake Manor. I can't imagine any work has happened at the park. Obviously, you know, I feel so bad for Drake Manor because I love Thomas Land. It's one of my, you know, I grew up with Thomas the Tank Engine in the early 80s. So for me, Thomas Land is just amazing. It surpasses Peppa Pig World for me in terms of what it is. And of course, they had the flood, Drayton Manor, and just as the flood come out and they were just about to reopen, we had all of this. So I feel so sorry for them. Sorry for them. Yeah, Disneyland will be fine. Disneyland Paris is now owned by Disney. It's not going anywhere. The Ultimate Lightwater Valley, I'd be more worried about Lightwater Valley than the Ultimate, I'm not going to lie to you. What happened to the old Klondike? So Klondike went to Thunderworld in Ireland once it left Funland in Halin, and it was advertised really heavily for a year, and they, you know, every event they had, we've got a looping coaster, and then it was sold to a traveling fair in America. It's in America now. Klondike is in America. Texas, last I heard, over that way. Yeah, I had some wonderful things in Klondike. It fitted really well at Drayton Manor. It was a bit out of place at Funland. Not the most comfortable ride I've ever been on.
My lip didn't feel that way.
No, I've got a great picture of Kurt when he come off Klondike. Great picture of Kurt when he come off Klondike.
It was split open lip and a bit of blood.
Open lip, yeah. You gotta brace yourself. Gotta brace yourself on these rides.
Brutal.
Gotta brace yourself. Yeah, I'd love them at RMC, the Ultimate. Can you imagine them having the money for that? Can you imagine it? Rapid Drive never reopened at Drayton Manor. Well, funnily enough, actually, I say I don't think it will. Obviously, they were cleared of everything, weren't they? Drayton Manor. So, yeah. The old Brighton Pier will be fine. They make so much money from their arcades and things. Lightwall Valley, yeah, I fear for Lightwall Valley after the accident last year. They're not posting a lot during this lockdown. I do fear for them, but I'd love to get back there this year. You know, it was something we wanted to do. The Old Western Thing roller coaster, that'd be Woody's coaster, got removed a few years ago. Yeah, that had restraint issues. Same as the Dragon, they didn't like the restraints on the Dragon, the way they closed in for adults, which is why these little coasters have gone, sadly. So yeah, Paultons Park, devastated at Paultons Park, and devastated for Paultons Park. Now then, M&Ds. Who went to M&Ds? We never went, did we?
No.
And I've never been to Scotland. I definitely didn't go. But who went?
Hello.
Hey, all right, Cody.
Yeah?
You playing Fortnite?
Yeah.
It's too late for you to be playing Fortnite. You should be in bed.
Fortnite.
Is that the best you're getting? That's the best we're getting.
So.
Yeah.
He's been playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
No, please don't dab. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. This is what you've come to see, people. This is what you've come to see. Cody, have you got any input?
What?
You got any input?
No.
No constructive input at all?
No.
Oh.
We were talking about M&D's theme park closing.
No idea what that is.
Well, you see,
I get that.
his dab is the only input. Yeah. His dab is the only input.
Great input.
Hi then.
It was a great input, was it? He's off. He's out of here. Well, there we go. Cody making a great appearance there.
He's come back to his Fortnite.
He's coming back to Fortnite. Dreamland Margate, yeah, I can see Dreamland Margate. I think they're in a good place, Dreamland Margate, and I think the Halloween event really helps them out. Pleasurewood Hills, I've been surprised with Pleasurewood Hills actually, because Pleasurewood Hills, they're doing a lot of work. They've been posting a lot of updates on their social media, a lot of updates. So
Nothing.
I'd be surprised. Oh, Catch the Crazies here, look. It's Andy. Right, Andy. Going back to, I'll definitely be going back. We'll all be going back to Blackpool Pleasure Beach when it opens. He said more than Kurt, to be fair. Yeah, Kurt.
What?
Cody said more than you, and he dabbed for us. He dabbed for us as well.
Yeah, I'm not that. That's too cringy.
But no, I never went to M&D's, and I have to say, I didn't hear anything good about it. Andy, did you ever go up to M&D's? I don't know if you've ever been to M&D's, but I'd never heard anything good about it at all. And I know the roller coasters there now, and the name has slipped my memory, is one of the most uncomfortable roller coasters in the world, from what I'm led to believe. What's it called? Kurt, Google it. What's it called? I can't remember what it's called. Can't remember what it's called.
What one? Do they have more than one coat?
It's a big red thing they've got there. Tornado. There he is. Theme Park Kieran is all over that. Tornado. Oh, yes. Something like that. I think it is Tornado. It rings a bell. It does ring a bell. So yeah, I hear that thing is really uncomfortable, and apparently it used to have like a really weird corkscrew in it, which they had to remove, and it didn't actually get much more comfortable.
Oh, but you can't access their website. It just says administration, that they've gone into administration when you click on it and kicked you off. So.
Right. Oh, Andy, you did go to M&D's when you started the channel. Worst theme park I'd ever visited. Yeah, that's kind of what I'd heard. That's kind of what I'd heard about the theme park. I hadn't heard anything good about it at all. And of course, Tsunami went to M&D's. Tsunami was the suspended Funfairs coaster, and I actually went on that. That was a cracking ride, and of course it had a really unfortunate accident. Who got on Tsunami? Possibly not at M&D's, although Andy may have done because that was been a couple of years ago. But who got on Tsunami when it was travelling the country? Because it used to be on Fair Circuit, believe it or not. I think that's where it should stay, to be honest with you. Blackpool Lights would be perfect this year. Talk about social distancing in a car. That'd be amazing. They could make a killing. Absolute killing. What are Pleasure Beach doing about their annual passes? I haven't heard anything from them. I don't think there's announced anything yet, Pleasure Beach. But I think there's going to be a lot of pressure for everyone to kind of extend them. I couldn't get on Tsunami. It was like a kid's coaster. It was. I tell you what, for a Pin Ferry, it was remarkably smooth going through those inversions. But it didn't have a lot of ride to it at all. Very unique coaster.
Yeah.
Very unique coaster.
Half M&Ds apparently.
Yeah, poor old M&Ds. But yeah, I mean, their accident record has been appalling. Their rides looked like they were rusting. And it's a really difficult one because I don't like to see any theme park fall at all, apart from Adventure Wonderland. I don't like to see any theme park fall at all. But it's such a shame. It's one of these ones where we're talking about now, Pleasurewood Hills, Bream theme park, somewhere like that. Somewhere like that goes down. People are going to stop and go, whoa, hang on a moment. This is another American Adventure. This is another Camelot. This is another, fairly big theme park that might go. But yeah, Pleasurewood Hills, they seem to be posting a lot of positivity, which is great news. Great news from there. It's a beautiful park, and it's again heading in the right direction. They've really been putting some work into that, which is great. Absolutely great. My favourite park is always Chessington, Mark. I love Chessington, love it. Bream theme park. Bream are lucky because they're quite closely linked with the water park. I think they're linked with the local sort of holiday home as well. So I think Bream have other income coming in. They don't really have a ride shake up that often, Bream. So they keep investment quite low whilst keeping quite a good sort of a good ride offering. I read that the work doing the park have been halted until June, July. Yeah, I think all parks have halted work till June, July. And this is what would worry me about Valhalla as well, potentially. Can you even call Adventure Wonderland a theme park? No. Well.
No.
Well, hold on, people. Hold on. Because we actually have a new video coming out very shortly, which is going to Kurt hasn't actually seen it yet. I haven't shown him yet, but it's going to be theme parks versus fairs versus amusement parks in the UK. So arguably, because Adventure Wonderland has a theme to it, it would be classed as a theme park. But honestly, if someone took it off the map, I wouldn't notice it was gone.
The best attraction is the hedge maze.
Yes.
It's the only thing worth going for.
Yes, it is. I'm worried for Lightwater Valley. I'm worried for Lightwater Valley as well, Kieran. I really am. Stephen, how long has Angry Birds got left at Fort Park? I keep forgetting it's there. I keep forgetting it's there. I can't even lie to you. Wonder how our local parks will cope. Barry Island. Yeah, Barry. I've never been to Barry Island. I've heard so many good things about it. I know Andy's been there. I'm sure I've watched the vlog, Andy, from you there at Barry Island. You're tracking down a ghost train, I want to say, but don't quote me on it. And it looks a real fun place. To go. Favourite Pleasure Beach ride? Wallace and Gromit. Sorry. Favourite theme park? Chessington. Yeah. My favourite theme park is Chessington, Mario. I hope Flamingo. I don't think Flamingo Park. Which one's Flamingo Park? Flamingo Land? Flamingo Park. Where's Flamingo Park? Not sure where that one is. But M&Ds. I mean, what's the general consensus about M&Ds going down? Are you surprised? Flamingo Land. I think Flamingo Land will be fine, but I think we're going to move on to Flamingo Land in a minute and talk about their 10 looping coaster. But what's the general consensus around around M&Ds, honestly. What will be the general consensus? Guess some favourite ride at Chessington's Vampire. Vampire is my favourite ride, full stop. Let alone at Chessington. Let alone Chessington. Hastings have the pier, don't they? Yeah, certainly have the pier. We'll be glad to say goodbye to Adventure Wonderland Barbecue Shed and Hose Pipe Log Flume. Yeah, that log flume could have been bought out. I had wondered whether Clarence Pier bought their log flume initially. I did have to check with Jordan whether or not it was theirs. Looks like it might be. So you think, Kieran, you think M&Ds will be bought out? So what was the other theme park in Scotland?
I have no idea. I don't know Scottish parks.
Because Scotland had 2 theme parks, didn't it? Or 2 major theme parks, and one of them shut 10 years ago. I want to say 10 years ago. It did have a castle. Yes, it did have a castle. Mark, which park would you invest in that really needs you? I'd invest in Lightwall, but if I had money, I'd go and buy Lightwall Valley.
The Loudon car.
Loudon, yes. Kurt and James on it at the same time there. Yes, Loudon Castle, because they had some really unique rides. And I think half of it's still sitting there as well.
It closed at the end of the 2010 season.
Oh, God. Oh, it's 10 years ago. Hey.
And opened 1995, so it only lasted 15 years.
Yeah, it did, but it had some really, really unique rides, including that massive globe chair swing, which looked fantastic. It did. Looked amazing. Looked absolutely amazing. Anthony, what changes was done at the Pleasure Beach Ghost Train? I actually don't know, because we went on it on the last day of the season in 2018, and I thought it was all right. Actually, I thought it was all right, and then it had a complete revamp over the closed season. I didn't get back to Great Yarmouth last year, so I don't know. I genuinely don't know what they've done to it. Was it owned by I don't know who owned it, actually. I honestly don't know who owned it. But yeah, Loudon Castle, that was it. So do we think M&Ds will be bought out? Is there any rides that are there worth saving? Someone messaged today saying that that the disco from Pleasure Beach Great Yarmouth was now at M&Ds for this season. I don't know if someone can confirm that. I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know at all, to be honest. But I wasn't aware that Great Yarmouth had got rid of theirs. Can you see on their website?
I'll have a look.
Is the disco still on there? Kurt's on that now. What's your favourite Brighton Pier or Clangton Pier? I've never been to Clangton Pier, so it's going to have to be Brighton Pier, Mario. I'm not a massive fan of Brighton Pier. I only go there for the air race. Will London thing go ahead? Don't think so. Chessington Alton Castle used to be at Dreamland. I did used to be at Dreamland. See, I went to Dreamland when I was very, very young, and I was lucky enough to get on the Looping Star coaster.
The disco is still listed on.
It's still listed. How strange. How strange. Yeah, I was very lucky to get on the Looping Star coaster, but I don't remember. The only other ride I remember there is the Lightwall Valley boat. I think it was called the Mary Rose then. What's it called now? Black Pearl now. I'm sure it was the Mary Rose then. Pleasure Beach Ghost Train is now listed. Is it? Is it really? How strange. I would buy Lightwall Valley out and put a gravity group Woody next to the rapids. It was a Mary Rose, yeah. It was. You see, would you put a Woody in Lightwater Valley though, or would you RMC the Ultimate?
RMC in there.
Would you like to see Vampire get a repaint? Yes, I'm gutted that it's the 30th year anniversary and the station looks better. I'm not going to say it looks as good as what it did when the ride opened. I don't think that would be fair. And yet they haven't even jet washed the track, let alone painted it. And you know, however much I think I said in the last stream, the drone shots they did were incredible of it. Absolutely incredible. But it really did highlight some of the shoddy paintwork that's happened on the Vampire over the last sort of 30 years, I guess. Open with black supports, which they changed to brown. I think they should have kept some blacks. I don't really understand why they didn't, to be honest. Really don't. Love Oakwood. Yeah, I need to get to Oakwood. Oakwood is a place I need to go to. Any news on what's happening in Margate? No, they've kept very quiet. Dreamland kept very, very quiet indeed. Retrack Ultimate with better banking and keep the classic. Oh, Oh, but the banking's what makes it a classic. The ride structure looks amazing when it first opened. Yeah, I think Dragon's Fury is the worst looking coaster at Chessington. Yeah, it's what part got painted? Some of it got. I think it's the No, it didn't get painted, did they? They've put some padding. Well, they've put padding around tiny truckers to stop it vibrating. It looks quite nice. It looks quite nice, to be honest. We had the looping boat ride in the 80s at Barry Island. Yeah, Barry Island's got so much history. I can't believe I haven't been to Barry Island yet. I really can't. Did I like the Dino coaster at Legoland? It did a job. It was smooth, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very smooth, just a bit small and yeah. But I guess it's designed for kids.
A bit small and yeah.
Yeah.
Give us a full review, Kurt.
Yeah, it was okay. It's small, but it's smooth and it's a bit boring, and it's got some really annoying music.
It has got some annoying music. I haven't missed that. At all. Do you think Valhalla will be completely redone inside to make the effects more reliable? We're definitely going to come on to Valhalla shortly. So M&Ds, the general consensus seems to be that we're not bothered it's closed, but it might be bought out. Right, before we move on to the next one, the noise in Dragon's Fury is bad here. It's really bad around Tiny Truckers. Tiny Truckers is one they should have ripped out, in honesty. It just doesn't work being underneath it. Poor old Frazzle, he wasn't fixed. He still didn't work on the last day of the season. Well, the last day of the start of the season. That's the best way of putting it. Will you do construction updates for Chessington? We will do when it reopens, absolutely. West Midlands Safari Park need a new coaster or to replace one. The West Midlands Safari Park's a funny one because I find their rides are quite expensive, but they've got some quite unique ones there. It's always nice to see what have they got now? They've got a disco, quite a big disco. They've got the Venom drop tower, that's quite a good tower. They've still got the spinning coaster. The Rhino coaster is for those that didn't know, is a carbon copy of the one at the flight of the Hippogriff in Harry Potter Land. It's exactly the same coaster. So yeah, they've got some unique rides, but I don't know, what's their last investment? I think it was the disco. I love West Midlands Safari Park. I love the safari as well, Stephen. I love it. Absolutely love it. Tiny Truckers has no relevance in Chessington really with the new safari ride and Legoland down the road. No, it doesn't. Doesn't at all. Did you know that Lightwall Valley have dodgems to replace Twister? Yes, sadly. It's never a good sign. I think they're on loan as well. I know the Waltzer's on loan. It's been heavily stated that the Waltzer's on loan. So that's on loan, and yeah, the dodgems are as well. I mean, hopefully they can get some income for it. Kind of hoping parks might be open. I mean, with Alton Towers now not saying they're open until the 1st of June, it does rule out completely half term. So, yeah. And we do wonder with Alton Towers as well, yeah, Gangster Granny, because they're going to want to publicise it being open, but they might only get 24 hours notice from the government that they can open. So it'll be really interesting to see. But wrap up M&Ds, no one seems to be bothered.
No one's moaning.
No one's moaning and it's gone. So yeah, M&Ds. Now then, Flamingo Land. Let's move to Flamingo Land, the Yorkshire park that somehow makes loads and loads of money, even though every time we go, we stand in queues for hours on end. They seem to have
stung by wasps.
I mean, have they sold the second train for everything at Flamingo Land, or is it really just the fact that it sits there in pristine condition? Hero, when we went, open with 7 trains, now only runs 3. Yeah. The Velocity doesn't run 2 anymore.
Kamali only had 1.
Yeah, not sure.
Sorry.
Fancy Island, I think there's quite a lot of work going on at Fancy Island. I have no idea when Chessington's going to reopen. Dodgems at Funland, yeah, that could be a proper little rave sort of ride, that one, if they wanted it to be. Zoom at Flamingo Land, yeah, what a great ride that is. What a great ride. So, Flamingo Land, they are due to open their 10 inversion roller coaster this year. It's not a clone of Colossus, it's an updated model of Colossus, so it has a much more refined drop, and of course has lap bar trains, and it has been confirmed now that it has lap bar trains, and they have 2.
That's if they run to. They
If
might
they
still
run
only
to.
run.
That's if they run to, yeah. Who knows? Flamingo Land would definitely do much better run on trains. I know they open February half term, they open Mumbo Jumbo, and they open Mumbo Jumbo with one train. Bear in mind the train only holds 4 people. I mean, it's staggering that a theme park can think that's a good idea. And, you know, a national theme park can think that's a good idea. The coaster, see, I heard they only paid 2.8 million for the coaster, and then they said they paid 18 million for it. I don't.
If they paid 18 million, they could have got something a lot better.
Yeah, could have got an RMC. Could have RMC'd.
Or a decent B&M or
Half
something.
a park, yeah. But yeah, they could sell Hero if they need the cash for scrap. They get some money for
Well,
that,
it's cute.
I imagine. So yeah, Flamingo Land. Stephen was right there. The Flamingo Restore Seafront Scarborough, because they still own. I can't remember what it's called. I think they still have an input in Bayside down in Scarborough. But do we think the 10 inversion coaster is going to open this year? Because we had 3 new creds, big new creds opening this year. I say big. We had the Dino Coaster, which did open, and some people have got the cred. We then have Storm Chaser, obviously at Paultons Park, which will now be a 2021. And we have this 10 inversion coaster, which people are saying is going to be called inversion. I sure hope they don't call it inversion. Do we think it's going to open, Ben? I don't think it will. What's the general consensus? Do we think that it's going to open in 2020? This is a ride that the track was complete. The track was complete.
And then they decided they wanted to paint it whilst it was up.
And then they want to paint it. Now, of course, there's no updates coming from Flamingo Land at the moment. There's quite a good Flamingo Land group on Facebook, but there's no updates coming at the moment. So I don't, as far as I'm aware, work has stopped on it. And this ride wasn't due to open until June anyway. So if you think it's 3 months behind, that's already September.
Yeah, I don't think it'll open this year.
No, I have to say, I don't think it will. But it's a difficult one, isn't it? It's a difficult one. I don't think the F1 ride was a great investment for them. Oh, the F1 ride.
It's awful. Just looking at it last time, it was painful.
Oh my god. Oh dear. So, the F1 ride, I was expecting, what's that one at Disney? Test Track. I was expecting it to be like Test Track. Maybe that was wrong of me to expect it to be like Test Track, but I was expecting it to be like Test Track. And then we get there and it's like Tiny Truckers. I just like staggered how bad it was.
It takes them a lot of space for what it is.
I know, they advertised the crap out of that as well. They really did advertise the crap out of that. Yeah. You hope it does. You hope it does open this year. I'd love to see it open this year. I really would like to see a summer opening. Karen thinks it will open this year. They don't usually make a huge deal about openings of rides. No, but they hadn't officially announced the date, even though their ticket prices said otherwise. They hadn't. How far did they get with the painting and what colour? Wow, the last bit I saw, it had a section of track with about 12 different colours on it. So I had no idea. I mean, if they didn't know what colour they were gonna paint it.
No, I don't even think they know.
I don't have a clue either.
Should have done it before it went up anyway.
Yeah, Matthew, if they open ASAP, they can get people coming to the park and start using it. Yeah, and you know, this is going back to Paultons Park and going back to Tornado Springs. I mean, this is the difficulty, isn't it? Because arguably, Paultons Park, I imagine social distancing will be slightly relaxed in terms of builders at the next May point. It seems. I mean, there might be a problem, but it seems. So they could possibly get back to work and have it done, you know, everyone's running 3 months behind, have it done by late August, possibly August bank holiday. But the problem is, does that then have the impact for the rest of the season, especially when most parks don't open daily in September? So, yeah, it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one. But yeah, it's hard to say. It really is hard to say. If they don't delay it till next year, they can promote it. It's hard to say. Yeah, it really is hard to say. They would have been better leaving the track and support as the colour arrives and repaint it next year. I'd have thought it would have been easier to repaint it before they put it up. But I could be wrong. Obviously, I'm not an engineer. I don't know. F1 should be removed and put a family launch coaster in there. Funny enough, you say that. I mean, obviously Flamingo Land have to joint a maximum amount of coasters in the UK with Alton Towers. I don't know if they need a coaster. They need a really good dark ride. They need a world-class dark ride. That is what I think Flamingo Land need, especially after opening this 10 looping coaster, which I think will be massive for them, And if the park gets busy, they're going to have to find these second trains, and if they've sold them, they're going to have to buy them back. They're going to have to. Mark, did you have Flamingo Land when they had Magnum Force Bullet? No, sadly I missed those. Sadly missed those. Where I live in Portsmouth, I'll let you Google Portsmouth to Flamingo Land. It's not easy when you're young to get up there, sadly. Stephen, think Shockwave, not long left in it. Go down the family route, Drayton Manor. Problem is, if Drayton Manor, because Drayton Manor were going to get rid of the Buffalo, only about 5 or 6 years ago. And then, of course, they decided to refurbish it instead, which made much more sense. And Shockwave, they get rid of Shockwave, it's game over.
I still haven't been on that.
No, you were going to go on it. Well, we were waiting for a new coaster to open there, weren't we?
Yeah.
Or something to open.
Yeah, but the queues were ridiculous when we last went.
Yeah.
Especially for G-Force, but obviously I've shut now.
G-Force, yeah.
Still never went on that either.
Enough of it, G-Force, we did, didn't we? 10 Lucas looks great. Yeah, I think it does look great. I think it'll work really well. Do I like resort Alton Towers, Mario? No, I don't. I think it's the biggest waste of time ever.
Clearly loved though, it gets very long queues.
It does get long queues, it does. Merlin Attraction and Safe from the 1st of June to open, yeah, they did. And it's a bit strange because I think it's a difficult one.
I don't think they'll be open quick.
Well, I do.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm a bit disappointed because that's the end of our holiday, 1st of June.
Yes.
So I think I think it will be relaxed at on the 8th of May.
Well, the government did say yesterday that we'll be in lockdown until there's a vaccine. So.
No. They said we'll be following social distancing until there's a vaccine.
Wow.
There might have been a vaccine for ages. The repainted sports on Velocity and Grey look terrible against the orange track. Yeah, I don't know whether the orange is the final colour, but don't quote me on it. I thought Velocity, what they've done to it so far, looked good. But again, when we see half a picture and then everything stops, it's so difficult to then kind of gauge what's going on. So difficult. Thought Park needs to get rid of Darren Brown's Ghost Train. Massive waste of money. Funny, when I first went on the Ghost Train, I thought that was incredible. And then it's just got no re-rideability whatsoever.
And most of the headsets are broken.
And all the headsets are broken, yeah. Yeah. So, final consensus then on Flamingo Land. Do we think that it will open their 10 looping coaster in 2020, or do you think they're going to flog the hell out of this for 2021? Let us know in the comments. We'll go through some more comments there. Now the Alton Towers, a delay of opening, how much failure do you think the new ride will get? Well, I mean, the only good thing about Alton Towers and obviously Gangster Granny is that they could open that over Christmas and probably have as much success with it because of their openings. So they might be all right. They might be. Old Town, complete waste of time. Do I like Stealth, Mario? I love Stealth. Stealth is one of my top 5 coasters. Love it. Mark, do we rate Wicker Man or Icon when they both opened? I preferred Icon, but I have to say, don't get me wrong, I think Wicker Man is an amazing ride. Amazing. Kurt, do you want some input?
Yeah. Especially in the rain, Wicker Man's the best.
Oh, Wicker Man in the rain.
Oh, the heavy rain last year.
That was incredible, wasn't it?
Yeah, it did hurt your face a little bit, the rain, but it was definitely good. It was worth it.
That was actually one of the best experiences I've had on a roller coaster, Wicker Man in the
rain.
And
if it didn't have such a long queue, we'd have been back on it again.
Yeah. We did it twice, didn't we?
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah, did it twice in the rain. Oh, that was awesome, that was. So general consensus is, looks like it's going to be next year. Looks like people are thinking it's going to be next year. Hopping's been cancelled this year so far. Nottingham might cancel. Oh, I'll be gutted if Nottingham cancel, and I really wanted to get to Hull this year as well. Hoppings is a bit early though, isn't it? Hoppings is June. I want to say June. You want to know what John Wardley did to the first drop to make it better? So in the interview, he said he reprofiled the first drop. The angle of the first drop and the sloping of the first drop was changed on Wicker Man to make it slightly more intense and G-force is what he said. And even the company agreed that it was a better one, and they could move the footers for it, and then they couldn't move the footers for the other parts that he wanted to change because Alton Towers had already put them down because they forgot to consult him. Unbelievably, forgot to consult him. Shocking. It was my first time on Stealth and loved it. Stuff amazing. O2 Tier, do you think there'll be any Fright Night mazes at Fort Park this year? Well, I'll tell you what, let's move on to that. Before we look at delays, let's move on to Fright Nights Halloweens. Hit us with your comments on Fright Nights Halloweens. What do you think is going to happen this year? How do you think they can run it? There's not much theming about the new Flamingo Land coaster. No, it's built on the same car park I think the Corkscrew was. I imagine it to look like a car park as well. Wicker Man in the rain and the dark. We haven't done it in the dark, have we? We've done it in like the dusk.
Dark.
Not in the dark. No, I don't know. Is David Wanning's World destined to fail because of the IP, the history of the area, previous themes? They needed a highlight ride in that area. I'm not sure that's it. They needed something else, I think. But maybe if it is a little bit better, they will add something decent up there. Lovely family ride up there would be amazing.
Yeah. Twirling Toadstools come back.
No. Come on, proper ride, Kurt, proper ride.
No, but they could briefing that into it.
We need to support the smaller parks when they reopen. Absolutely. We had planned this year Fantasy Island, Great Yarmouth Pleasure Beach, Drayton Manor, Flamingo Land, Lightwater Valley, Pleasurewood Hills is where we had planned to go this year, and a lot of them are the smaller parks. I haven't got John Wardley's book yet, but I did, because I went through the theme park merchandise the other day, I did start reading the other one. So I'm back on it. Do you have any plans for European parks? Well, funnily enough, we were talking about it, weren't we?
Yeah, we did have a talk about it.
But I think it's going to have to wait till 2021 now. I worry that if I go out there, the dark rides and things will be closed, and I'll be gutted. So you hope Tony's Farm goes ahead this Halloween. So yes, Halloween. Do we think that Halloween is going to happen? Do we think that mazes? How are mazes going to coexist in this? How are mazes going to do it?
I think it'll be difficult. Because even if the lockdown ends, which it should, then the social distancing part.
Well, it's 6 months away until October half term.
Still, if we can get a vaccine in 6 months, which they said that is the minimum amount of time it will take, social distancing shall still be in place.
Well, unless there's a
miracle.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Halloween will go ahead. I'm going to stay optimistic here. I'm going to be really optimistic. I think Halloween will go ahead. Even if it's actors behind like doors or coming out of windows, maybe with plastic on, and you kind of go through the maze sort of by yourself, or with your car, or with right up. Wrong one. Kurt's on that. So that's how I think it will go. I think if there's social distancing, Chris, we put there, you can't have them potentially up in your face. I mean, we don't know, but I think that you could still have jump scares if you went in with just you and your people you're with, assuming obviously that you can be with people. They could quite easily be behind plastic, still banging and doing things. And I think that'd be the only way they can potentially work. Fields again would be a lot easier behind fences and things. So yeah, difficult one. Yeah. Did I like Safari Ride into Africa at Chessington? It's all right, to be honest. It's all right. I don't think there'll be any events this year. Well, it's going to be tight. Jill could do a Toon Blaster style refresh. Didn't it just have one? I swear it just had one, didn't it? It's a bit too bright. It's the problem, you see, because Jill went in the opposite direction. It went from being quite dark and quite dingy to really bright with loads of ultraviolet lights where you can see all the bits. I think it'll mostly be a Halloween season. Yeah, funny enough, I just think it will be. I'll be surprised if we don't see more parks going to administration. Sadly, I think you're right. I don't know whether it'll be any major parks, but you might be right. The room theme isn't the best quality from the outside from photos. Just paint a new ride, which is a little more investment. Yeah, that's what I really hate about Alton Towers. They've had all this area now for ages. Same with the CBeebies Land. All these old buildings that have been there since the theme park was built, and they just slap a new bit of paint on them. Awful.
Yep, and then it peels straight off.
Yeah, it looks awful. Yeah. What about Alton Towers fireworks? It sells out fast. Well, you know, if anything, it'll be the fireworks that's cancelled, I would say. Need a water coaster at Alton Towers Place for Flume. I think they need a new water ride. I agree with that. Do I like Christmas at Chessington? Love it. Love Christmas at Chessington. Vampire on New Year's Day is a massive highlight for me. Do you all have what Toon Blasters basically had in 2016? Well, they ruined it. Yeah. Yeah, they did. Now they need to go back and do it again. I think we'll have a semi-lockdown situation for 2 more years, Cole. Let's hope not. Let's hope not. Let's hope not. Let's hope they can speed up a vaccine for this so we can all get back out. So Halloween, people, Halloween. Do we think Halloween's going ahead? Kurt, give us some input.
No, I still don't think so.
You don't think
I
it's
think
going to
Christmas will, but I don't think Halloween will.
You think Christmas will?
Yeah. I think we'll be done by then, but I don't think we'll be ready for Halloween.
Well, it seems a split opinion. I think it will. Kurt thinks it won't. The chat is going down the split opinion route as well. So interesting to see. So we won't include Alton Towers in this because I don't believe Alton Towers will delay the opening of David Walliams Land. I don't think they'll delay it. There's no reason for them to delay it.
I think they'll open as soon as the park opens.
Father Christmas meet and greets go on plastic screens. You'd be happy with that, wouldn't you?
That'd
be happy with that. So the next question is, we have some projects for 2021 that have already been announced. 2 that I can think of. Kurt, what are they? We've mentioned them already. How much
the Chessington Drop Tower.
Chessington Drop Tower.
Valhalla refresh.
Oh, it's free then. Well done. Free. Well, I forgot about Valhalla.
Oh, do I know? Oh, and Legoland.
And Legoland. So let's start with Blackpool Pleasure Beach, who obviously shut Valhalla for the 2020 season. Do we think that Valhalla will open next year? Now, I appreciate it's the park's anniversary next year. I really, really do. But do we think it'll open next year? Anthony's a no on the Halloween. Is anyone actually looking forward to this land? How big is David Walliams? He's fairly popular. Don't know if anyone's looking forward to it though. Danny, my local park very on for Pleasure Beach may not be there next year. The park doesn't open by June, is what the owner said last week. Yeah, the parks need to open by June. I really think they do. 2020 will be alright for you, in my opinion. I can't see people going back to parks even if they open. Wow. I don't know. I understand what you're saying, but there are going to be some hardcore people that have been stuck inside for 2 months. You might be surprised the amount of people that go out. You might be surprised. I think it will open it even on reduced time. Someone said 15 months, 125 years of Blackpool. Yeah, so it is. It is obviously 125 years of Blackpool, which is why Valhalla is getting the update for 2021. But do we think it's still going to... Do you think they're going to be able to do it? I mean, to be fair, work seemed to have started on it when we went up. It seems ages ago. I don't even feel like we've been this year.
No, it doesn't.
God.
Feels like longer than it is.
It really does, doesn't it?
And it wasn't even that long ago at all.
It was only 2 months ago. 2 months ago. And normally we wouldn't have even gone back. We wouldn't even be going back to Blackpool, would we, until the summer? So it actually might not affect us, Blackpool, to be honest, in the way it is. So, maybe it won't affect us. Maybe it won't affect us at Blackpool. I mean, we're screwed at the moment. But maybe it won't affect us at Blackpool. But, you know, are they doing that much in Valhalla that they are going to take that long to do it? No. Not sure. What do you think? Do you think Valhalla is going to get there? Do you think it's really going to take that long to just change a few effects in it? Did it need anything but effects done, is the question. Looking at it, Crispy thinks it'll open. They're selling the shields from the boats in the Rise Park shop. Yeah, I nearly bought one. They were in awful condition, which is why I didn't buy one. They were 120 quid as well, weren't they?
Oh, they were expensive.
They were really expensive. Kieran, will parks extend the season? I think they'd be silly not to. If this can get sort of, I say not done and dusted, but if they can get a working environment, I could see them being opening all close season, to be honest. Just shutting in January.
Even the coasters and that they can open early.
But I mean, let's be honest, Paultons Park did that anyway, so there's no reason why these ones can't that. Do I think the virus will be all gone by November? I hope so.
It won't be all gone, I wouldn't have thought.
Let's see. I really hope they update the old Valley Justice. It's just another chill. Bloody chill. So they don't use the rides this year. Theoretically, don't need to maintain. Well, this is what I was thinking, is that if the rides aren't being used, then what's the problem? I really want to get rid of all the effects to save money. The effects have been switched off for so long in Valhalla that I don't think it matters, to be honest, at the moment. Toby, hello. I've got one thought. Every public place will run normal from middle May. Well, yeah, this is what some people are saying. It's so difficult to tell. So difficult to tell, really is. Realistically, what do you think SW9 will be?
That's an interesting one.
I know. All right, let's have a think about SW9. Valhalla will be late. There was a scaffold on the ride when we went in February. Yeah, there was. They seem to be starting it, but again, it's only a retheme. I mean, they could build Valhalla between February and February next year, let alone just do a few effects. So I'm a bit confused of what they're doing to it and how different it's going to be, to be honest. Be really interesting to see. We will have to leave a 2 metre gap. Everyone in the queues, they were doing that at Legoland. They were doing that. And then RMC is all they can do. SW9, Kurt, back to you.
I think it'll be another launch coaster, something more like Icon though.
A launch coaster like Icon?
Yeah, more like Icon.
Where? Where are you putting that launch coaster, Kurt?
Oh, that's a good question.
I know.
I'm not sure. I'm sure they'll find room. They got a lot of woodland area.
I think Alton Towers don't have a lot of room, to be honest.
No, not really.
Well,
Rita out.
they must be rebuilding the riding system. Yeah, I'm guessing they're doing more to Valhalla than maybe they've let on, to be honest. It would probably be low throughputs with headsets, yeah. What do you think of Rita with VR? I think Rita might go too fast for VR. I think it might make a lot of people sick. That would be my only concern with that. I would love to launch a coaster like Taron. Absolutely, would love that. Rip Rita out, place a better launch coaster in. It's just Rita's so poorly placed.
Put an icon there.
Put an icon there, yeah.
They can move it now.
Cruelly need something flying. But really need something. I don't want to say it is. I think Swimblewoods will be going next. Well, they said about moving Swimblewoods right up the top of the park, which I think they should have done because it's such a long queue and it would drag people up the top of the park, really would. SW9 in Gloomy Woods. It's right by the maintenance bit of Gloomy Woods, isn't it, out the back? I don't actually know how much space they've got there. You can't leave a 2 metre gap on Ghost Trains or other Ghost Trains if you're in the queue of the ride. So, Ronnie, what they were doing at Chessington was loading every other row. I mean, the throughput was terrible, but it was working. I don't have solutions, I really don't. Do you think Pleasurewood Hills should become a Merlin park? I don't think it's big enough for Merlin to take on, to be honest with you. John Morley said they can knock most of the trees. They can't knock most of the trees. They built Rita around them. Explained the poor layout. Yeah, I still think they could have had a better layout. But, yeah. Rip Rita out, put more flat rides in. Okay, with that. If VR failed on Galactica, I don't think they will bother with VR. There's the other problem. I don't think Merlin will go down a VR route anymore. I think that ship has sailed. It's horrible having to walk under Rita's track to get to the entrance. Yeah, but I mean, at least it's covered now, so you've not got much chance of being hit by cable. That's one good way of looking at it. Where would most modern coasters be without making the tubular track? Yeah, Arrow all the way. What can you do on rides like Nemesis with 2 people per row? Well, I think it would just have to be your family group on one row. I don't have answers, honestly. I don't have answers for you. I'm sure it can be done, but the issue is obviously it's going to be down to throughput. It's going to, you know, if 10,000 people still show up at Alton Towers and there's 2 people on every other row of Nemesis, I mean, that's 10 people on the ride, 10, 12 people on the ride.
Yeah.
It's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. I would like to see the Nemesis have a queue again.
Well, it would have.
I'll tell you what, Nemesis had an amazing queue the last couple of times I've been. Absolutely insane. What type of coaster would like to see at Chessington? I don't think one version too much. I'd like to see 13 at Chessington, ideally. If they were to have an inversion one, a Mac launch coaster would be amazing for Chessington. Galactica was first flying coaster to have VR removed. Yeah. Will Marvel Land be delayed at Disneyland Paris? I imagine so, because Paris have been hit even hard enough, don't they, to be honest with you? Would have thought the Blue Barnacle will be held up. Yeah, I think it might be. But it was on its way, so it might have already been there, to be fair, and they would just finish the landscape. Do you eat at Chessington? Legoland? No. How much for the sausage roll, Kurt, at Legoland?
$3.99.
$3.99 for a sausage roll.
Which is way too much.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. I thought it would be a difficult one for those social distancing. Yeah. Yeah, it would be. It would be. Right, so Valhalla. Do we think Valhalla will go ahead as normal for 2021? That's the question. Kurt?
Yeah.
You think it will?
I think so.
You think so? I agree.
They can still get people in now.
I just think it's only a re-thing. I can't see it taking that long, to be honest. But we'll see. Right, Chessington World of Adventures, because that is split again in the comments. Their drop tower, I mean, I got hammered for saying their drop tower wasn't ever planned for this year, but I was told it was, and I was told categorically by several people that it was delayed by the manufacturer, which is the reason why they don't have the drop tower this year. But now the drop tower could be going head to head with Tornado Springs, which I think is what Chessington were trying to avoid. I think they were going to try and take some limelight away from Paultons Park next year. So what do we think? What do we think with Chessington? Do you think that's going to happen still for next year?
I think so.
You think it will?
Yeah, I think it will.
Think mid 2021 we'll get it. Could be delayed. Which UK theme park do you think will suit a Vekoma launch coaster? Yeah, they look really nice, those Vekoma launch coasters. That would go quite well at Chessington, to be honest. It's definitely a hard one. You think it'll be open as schedule? Have I ever eaten at the Aztec Hotel for dinner? No, but I've had breakfast there. It's very nice. Very nice. A single drop tower against an entire Finland. A recipe for disaster for Chessington. Yeah. Yeah, it is. How are Paultons doing? They spent so much money and cannot get their money back. Paultons seem to be doing very well. From what I've heard, they're quite well set up. And I think they're still expecting busy times for the rest of the year. It's going to be serious competition as they open in the same year. Well, this is the problem. You know, the drop tower, as far as I'm aware, is the same size as Magma, which Paultons Park already have, which is a minor problem that Chessington are going to be advertising. A ride that Paultons Park have already got. Not for the first time. What other ride did they have to advertise which Paultons Park already had?
Cobra.
Cobra. That's right. So Paultons Park obviously opened Edge.
Which is better.
Which is much better. It's a much better ride. Especially this year. I don't know what's going on with Cobra this year. And then Chessington opened a better themed one. And to be fair, when it opened, Cobra was probably better. It's certainly not at the moment. So then next year we have we do have a bit of an issue next year with potentially them going up. So do we think Chessington will open the drop tower next year? I don't actually know if they've officially announced that it's going to be opening next year. I don't think their map said come in 2021. I think it just had a little shovel. Can't remember.
I didn't see coming.
They're in the car. The maps are in the car, so I'm not 100% sure. But I mean, do we think that Chessington will indeed open it for next year? Do we think they will open it for next year? And if they do, how's it going to fare directly up against Paultons Park and Tornado Springs? Hi Tony. Can they do a proper job on it before next year? Matthew says. Who knows? If they come and launch Chessington, that would be amazing. It's going to be some serious competition if they open in the same year. It's going to be interesting. I don't think it'll be a very good tower. The thing looks okay, to be fair, but it's not. You know, I mean, it's a low capacity ride, isn't it? It's a low capacity ride. The only way I think they can do well is if they completely overhaul Forbidden Kingdom. Yeah, we said that in our last vlog. You know, Forbidden Kingdom, it's lovely what they've done inside of Toon Blaster. The outside looks like a right mess. Absolute bloody mess outside. The park is run very well. Imagine Paulton's in charge of towers. Yeah, I can. That's the sad part. I hope they replace Rattlesnake. I'm very comfortable. You don't like Rattlesnake? I love Rattlesnake. Try Rattlesnake on a rain. That is amazing. Amazing. Chessington need to make sure there's a new ride that's very unique. They need something. Matthew, they haven't announced it yet. No, I don't think they have announced it yet. I don't think they have. Have I ever eaten at Chessington Hotel? Again, I've had breakfast there. That was very nice as well. Will it fit in with Forbidden Kingdom? Well, it's supposed to be crocodile themed, so it's supposed to fit in all right with Forbidden Kingdom. The problem with Chessington is they have a cap on the amount of guests to visit. That's the reason for all the hotels, so one visitor spends more days at the park. Yeah, it's quite a small ground, Chessington. It's quite a small ground. I cannot see parks spending money until they know they can open for a full season. Well, that's a very good point. But again, my understanding is Chessington have already bought this drop tower. Much like they'd already bought the boat. So in terms of Chessington, I think they're probably set.
Yeah.
I think they're probably set. And I got slated. I got absolutely slated for saying that Ramesses couldn't come out of there and they couldn't get a drop tower in there on the same closed season. But quite honestly, Ramesses was out of there in under a day. Under a day, Ramesses was out of there. They took a weight off the top, and next day it was gone. Next day it was gone. Unbelievable. Henry just checked out the map. It says something's been unearthed. Yes, that's right. I remember now, Henry. You're absolutely right. That's what it says. Toby, I love Rattlesnake. Don't think we'll be getting our Bouncillas back this year. No. And they did buy those. No, don't think we will. Will waterfalls work on Congo River Rapids? No, I don't think they will. They need to overhaul the front of Toon Blaster. It looks like it's never been maintained in years. Yeah, I think the whole lot. And I did point out in the vlog as well, I hate the way that where they've done Land of the Tiger, that it now goes right into the building. It really bugs me that they've got a beautiful front building. One, you can still see the Forbidden Tomb sign behind it. Jesus Christ, just remove the damn thing already. It's rethemed in 2002 to Toon Blaster. 2002.
18 years later.
18 years later, I can still see Forbidden Tomb behind it. It really pisses me off. I can't say that in any other way, I'm afraid, guys. It really does. It's a Rockwell crocodile for the drop tower. Yeah, it is, and it's going to spray water. Woohoo! Water. Why did they get rid of the top spin? Why not just replace it? It was a very popular ride. No, sadly, it wasn't a popular ride anymore because of the demographic of Chessington and the 1.4. And this is why I'm a bit surprised as well that they haven't overhauled the Rattlesnake trains so they can bring that back down to a 1.2 height restriction, which I think they should have done.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Which would make sense.
On it.
Yeah, it would definitely make sense. Did you like Bouncilla? I love Bouncilla. They need to do something in Wickstead Park, worth theme park. I've not been to Wickstead Park. I've not been there. It just looks like a lot of rides in a field. Can't lie to you. That's what it looks like. John Wally says pumping lots of water around is huge expense, which is why the park slowly toned down the rapids. Yeah, potentially. Again, particularly when it's crap water. Crap water in particularly requires a lot of filtration, which costs quite a lot of money. I just wish they sorted out the bloody Toon Blaster sign. Yeah, I just said that. Well, the name of the Tomb Blaster. What's the name of the tomb when it was called Terror Tomb? So when it was rethemed, it was called Terror Tomb in 1994. And then I want to say it was 1998 that it changed to Forbidden Tomb. Off the top of my head.
I have no idea.
Brilliant, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'd be fitness those parks. Chessington is brilliant this year. Chessington was wonderful this year. Had a lovely atmosphere going on to it. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. What two flat rides we'd like to see replace Ripsaw and Submission at Alton Towers? Kurt's on that now. Full park should get a waltzer. God, no, please. Please,
Oh, no.
please. Fair ride. And the problem is, I'd say the biggest problem with Thorpe Park getting a waltzer is due to health and safety, no one would be able to walk it. No one would be able to walk it. Same with Chessington as well. No one would be able to walk that waltzer and it would be pointless. The one at Lightwater Valley, again, they're not, I asked them, they're not allowed to walk it. So it would be absolutely pointless. You just sit there and go around the circle. It's the same at Dreamland in Margate because of health and safety and the way they're going to get sued and the fact they have a lot of temporary staff. It just wouldn't happen. Where of course waltzers you see on the fair circuit, you know, these people own the ride, they know the ride inside out, they walk the ride, they know everything about it, and they do an amazing job at it. Absolutely amazing job at it. Paul, hi, what do you think of the new boat ride at Chessington? It's all right, does a job. It's a lovely little young family boat ride. Does get you slightly wetter than the larger ones. Slightly wetter. Do you think Chessington should get a waltzer? No, neither them either. So I never understood why coasters have height restrictions. Surely they could have booster seats. Well, I'll tell you, I can actually tell you the answer as to why they have height restrictions. And it's because of G-force. It's as simple as that. And it's also why Paultons Park have an age restriction on their coasters as well. Because as you get older, your body develops in a way that you can withstand more G-force. So the idea behind the height restrictions is that they're done at an age level. Unless you've got a freakishly tall 4-year-old, they're done, which happens, it does happen, cut last, that happens. It's done at a level where you should be old enough to withstand the G-force. Because you're right, arguably, you know, you could stick a 4-year-old on Nemesis, he's not coming out. It's going to be really physically impossible to him come out once he's stuck in. But it's all to do with G-force. And no, dwarfs aren't allowed to go on it. They aren't allowed to go on it because their body develops in a different way. So yeah, that's. I mean, it's not a perfect system, but that is the system, and it is the reason why a lot of theme parks, smaller theme parks, also have age. So I believe it's 7 years old, for instance, for Flight of the Pterosaur at Paultons Park. Even though at 4, you'd be old enough, you'd be tall enough to go on it. But that's the reason why. It's the way your body develops. A general person. I don't want to say normal because that's not fair at all. It's not fair at all. But a way a general person develops is based around that, and that's why they have it. But yeah, absolutely, you could get on bigger rides without too many problems. You know, there are a lot of fair rides where you could you could get on, but would be too much G-force for a younger, undeveloped body to withstand. I'm happy Chessington's replaced the boards, master screens need replacing, and half the boards on the rides are out of place. Hopefully that's sorted by the time the park reopens. What new coaster thing come to Southport Pleasureland? I didn't see exactly what it was. I saw some pictures. It's another Pin Ferry one. That I can tell you. So it's probably going to be the same. Probably going to be the same as what's already there. Merlin needs to bring back John Wardley to help them back. Yeah, if they throw enough money in me, do it, 100%. Thought the park would get a skid. Yeah, skid's quite good. You like skid, didn't you, Kurt?
Yeah.
Friggin' health and safety ruins everything. I think on that count, it probably saves lives. I hate to say, not necessarily again. I mean, I'm sure if they're small enough, you would fall out, and this is where dwarfs might have the problem. They would fall out, but you know, G-force on a younger body is something. Sadly. Also, do you think Chessington are going to do anything for the Vampire 30th birthday when it reopens? Yeah, they did have something planned. They did have something planned that wasn't just a drone shot. So I'd love to see them do it. I'd love to see them do it. AB Fitness, I work on the Walton, I walk on it. What is better, Thorpe Park or Funfair? Well, we have a new video coming out. On that. You know, I appreciate a lot of people come on and go, you know, what's better? I love them both, and you've just highlighted it perfectly there why I love them both. You know, you put a Walter at Thorpe Park, it would be awful, absolutely awful, no ifs or buts. It would be one of the worst rides in the park. You go on a Walter at a fun fair, it could potentially be one of the best rides of the year. 100% be one of the best rides of the year. No issues, no anything at all. 100%. But of course, you go to Thorpe Park, you've got stealth. You're never going to get stealth at a fun fair. So they both have different purposes. There are times where I want to get on stealth, swarm. And then there are times I think, right, that Waltzer coming to me down the road has got an amazing team working on it, an amazing team of people that are going to make me nearly throw up when I get off it. I'm going down there. So I don't have a better one. I don't have a preference. They both serve very different purposes, and I love them both. The Heartline thing, yeah, I think John Wardley's talked about the Heartline thing before, hasn't he? Do you like Oblivion or Alton Towers? Love Oblivion. I can't believe Chessington cut out the signs to fit the cue board in. Yeah, I mean, the room on the broom, the ride's only been there a year, and we cut the sign out to fit the cue board in. Staggering. Like or Valley had a kid fall out. Did we ever find out why? No, that is still ongoing, that investigation. Hopefully they replace the signs room on the broom isn't even cut straight. No, it's awful. Am I correct? Too much G-force can cause serious brain damage? Yes. Yes. And that's the main reason for the age and the height restrictions. To be honest, it's not necessarily what you know, the case of falling out. I'm sure if you're too small on some rides, obviously you would fall out, but it's not to do with that. It's to do with G-force having issues on you. You could have Alton Towers bring carters back each year. Yeah, that was fantastic when they had carters there. Fantastic. Don't remember that, do you?
No.
Would retheme Old Town Thorpe Park, Future Zone fit with Black Mirror. I wonder if we'll ever see Black Mirror. I wonder if we'll ever see it. What topic were we on, Kurt? Chessington. So do we think Chessington, finally, on Chessington, do we think Chessington are going to open that for 2021? Quick yes or no in the comments. Will Chessington get it open for 2021?
Yes.
You think it will? I think they will as well. I think that one will go ahead. I think the ride's already bought, so I think it will go ahead. Do I like Nemesis Inferno? I don't mind it. Kurt, do you like Nemesis Inferno?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, he does.
Well,
but that got to happen to me so I could go on it. At Thorpe Park, get a KMG speed. Good for the teenagers. It would be, but the only problem with that is the throughput would be appalling. Absolutely appalling. You've got to think that Thorpe Park can hold 16,500 people, I want to say. 16,500 people, and the KMG Speed can hold 8. I'd love to see one there. It works quite well at Bream. It worked quite well for me at Fantasy Island. That's the one. Fantasy Island. So yeah. So we got yes, no, yes, yes, no, yes, yes. Fairly split actually. Fairly split on Chessington. Run the broom, they made the sign with the cut out the old steel sign and stack laminated paper. Yeah, we put that in the vlog. I don't know what to tell you. Repaint Nemesis Inferno. I think it's aged quite nicely, Nemesis Inferno. You know, I don't know why, but it did look a lot better on its opening day. It needs to tear down logs leap. Yeah, they do. Nemesis Inferno is a good coaster with the wrong name. Yep, that was a problem. Should have just called it Inferno. 100% agree. When will Thorpe Park get a new coaster? God, I imagine now that
2022, 2023 maybe?
I imagine it's been delayed even further. How many people can Chessington fit in? I want to say it's 14 and a half, but please don't quote me on it. Is it random they put scaffolding under Nemesis Inferno's exit? I was asked this question and I was told it's to get stuff out of the maintenance shed quicker. That's what I've heard. I repaint the Colossus track first. I wonder if they're thinking of removing Colossus, which is why they haven't done any work on it. That would be my theory. That will be my theory on that one. So finally, Legoland. Legoland actually have a massive project due for 2021. 2021, they are opening the Lego Movie Land with the flying cinema.
Simulators in it or something?
Yeah, with the flying simulators and obviously a retheme, which it looked like they'd started.
Yeah, they'd already been fencing the area.
Yeah, to the Squid Surfer, and I'm sure there's something else. Is there the 2 drop towers, the 2 Hello? Well, they look like Hello Kitty, weren't they? They look like Hello Kitty drop towers. Yes, it is the theatre, Sony. It is the theatre. So, what do we think with Legoland? Because this is a much, much bigger project, Legoland. It's a whole new sort of area with 2 completely new rides and a retheme and a completely new area being built. So first, what do we think about it? What do we think about the Legoland investment? Another investment for Legoland with another probably great dark ride and some drop towers, which will also have appalling throughput. What do we think of those? What do we think of them? Is Nickelodeon Funhouse still built at Alton Towers for the museum? Not been taken out. That I don't know. Actually, I don't know whether that's still there or not. Would surprise me. Ride needs to be clean. It's got to be the Spider. Yeah, I mean Spider's new enough that it shouldn't look the way it does. To be honest, it is a theatre, flying screen rides, and since it's Legoland, you can expect not to be impressed. Probably. I was impressed at Legoland.
Let's hope it's better than a haunted house monster party thing.
Oh, the monster party. Waste of time. Matthew, June 2021 now, opening now. So you still think it's going to go ahead for next year? Replace cinema, tear out Skyride. Skyrider? That's always so reliable. Such a reliable ride. It's always open. It's always open. Yeah. Favourite ride at Legoland? Ninjago. I love Ninjago. When it works. But usually it does work.
It didn't last time though.
It didn't work for you last time, did it? No, it didn't work for me last time.
The best ride there's the dragon.
He likes the dragon.
It needs some theming outside though, but
this is a massive investment for Legoland. So, do we think that's going to go ahead for 2021 still? This is the last big investment that we know about.
I still think it will.
Do you think it will go ahead?
Yeah.
Make a much better investment, rethink the direction they want to go with Fort Park. Yeah. I tell you what, actually, that this is where Angry Birds Land needs to come into it. Get rid of Angry Birds Land, get a nice family land in there. I don't think Fort Park need a new roller coaster. I think they just need to sort themselves out.
Yeah.
Honest with you.
Pretty much.
Need Dragon. Yeah, Dragon's not been the best. It's close when we were on it initially. What can be done to improve Laser Raiders apart from removing it? It's just not got enough going on, and it definitely needs. It needs Toon Blaster style trains. That's what it needs.
And the lasers are awful.
And the lasers are awful. Yeah. I mean, the problem is, I think it needs so much work doing to bring it up to standard that I don't know. It needs longer trains. 100% needs longer trains. It needs better throughput. It needs new lasers, and it needs some. Even if they're not moving scenes, I think it just needs something extra, which it doesn't have at the moment. Legoland needs something like Slinky Dog. Maybe Chessington need that. I think to 100%. Legoland needs something over the lake. Yeah, Slinky Dog over the lake. I can't. The only problem with the lake is obviously the hotels, because obviously the Jungle Coaster was removed because it was quite loud. So I don't know whether or not they could get away with building something over the lake. I'm not sure. Why can't Legoland make rides like Disney instead of just ones? I mean, Ninjago arguably is the closest thing they've got to a Disney-style ride. I would probably argue. And they let themselves down with cheap theming outside. Yeah, Laser Raiders is just an attempt, must be pretty easy to rip out. I can't forget it goes over the train track too. Yeah, it's a bit awkward, isn't it? And also Laser Raiders, I mean, because it has such a massive queue, Laser Raiders. Theme Park's back from his conservatory. He's back. How's the conservatory evening going? Laser Raiders are a slightly short queue. Maybe we could...
Yeah, we never want to queue that for it. It's not worth it.
No, it's just not worth it. It's not worth What you done roller coaster day, 16th orders, are you going to do a challenge? I'll tell you what, Kurt and I had loads of challenges due this year we were going to do, weren't we?
Yeah.
So let's see if it goes ahead. If it goes ahead, the 16th of August, Kurt, what day is 16th of August this year? It was on Thursday last year, wasn't it? So what is it, Saturday this year?
I don't know. Let me have a look. It says 16th.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on it.
Kurt's on it.
Mm,
How quickly is he on it? He's having a look at his calendar.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. It's a Sunday.
It's a Sunday. So yeah, if everything is fine, we will definitely be doing a challenge for National Roller Coaster Day, and we will take suggestions based on where we live in Portsmouth. We will take suggestions of what we could do for National Roller Coaster Day.
Yeah.
Legoland always seem to make the front look good, but they're sure about the warehouses look. What? I mean, come on now, you've only got to look at Monster House, haven't you? Monster House is a stunning building from anywhere but the sides and the back and the roof. Yeah. Why everyone stood about the place is always so busy and has massive queues and people love it. Yeah. Yeah. And yet, oddly enough, on a really quiet day, an off-peak day, it's totally opposite. It's probably the quietest part to visit Legoland on off-peak day. Over anything.
Let's go.
So, Legoland then, do we think the 2021 project is going to go ahead? Let's have some, little G, what's up? It's all up. It's a late night chat, this one, late night. We're going to have to get people to start sharing. Get some more views. We need to get some more views, people. Vampire 65 times on a Sunday. Might struggle. Right, hit us, yes and no's. Will it open in 2021? Even if it's delayed, Matthew said it's going to be delayed there. Will it open in 2021? Toby, yes. Paul, no. Matthew, yes, but delayed. Stephen, no. No in Merlin, it will be. No in Merlin, I think they might have an excuse for it not to be, potentially. There's a note there. I'm saying all projects will be on hold until 2022. It's a no. Kieran's a no. I'll tell you what, this has been the most resounding one yet, I would say. I'm going to go with no.
I'm still going to say yeah.
You're going to say yeah. God, Kurt's been completely. G's going yeah as well. So we've looked at Paultons Park delay until Easter next year, so it should open in March, actually, I think. Easter's March next year, so that'll be the beginning of the theme park opening season for Tornado Springs, which will be cracking. M&Ds have gone into administration. I can't see a way out for them, but a few people have said they think it'll be bought out. And then we had Flamingo Land. We all seem to think that Flamingo Land will not get it open for this year.
Nope.
As a general rule. We then moved on to Chessington. We think Chessington will open next year.
Yeah.
What else do we have?
I think.
Something else. Valhalla. We think Valhalla will open next year. That's the general consensus.
Yeah.
And we think that Legoland won't open next year. That's the general consensus. So quite a few things. Thank you, Kieran, for sharing it on Facebook. We definitely got to get some more likes. We're quite a late one today. We're really trying things. We've done an early one, we've done a late one, and everyone else seems to live stream at 7 o'clock. So we thought we'd be a little bit different, to be honest. We did think we'd be a little bit different. Paultons Park need a dark ride, yeah. And I asked Lawrence about this. No, James Mancy, one of the MDs, about this, and he said it would have to be the right setup. So I don't think they had an idea of what they wanted to do it on. I don't think they wanted to invest the money on like a Peppa Pig one. I
think they also need a decent water ride as well. A Rapids or Log Flume.
Yeah, a Rapids one wouldn't go astray. I agree with you there. Think we'll get some cheap refresh for Lego Reef. Yeah, potentially. That's where I thought Lego Movie Land was going, to be honest, initially. That's where I thought the Lego Movie Land was going. Lego Movie World 2022, I agree. What's my favourite ghost train? It's a local one to here, actually, which we see in Southampton. Goes with Coles, sung by someone called Ross. It's a lovely ghost train. It's only 45 seconds long. It's brilliant. Wonderful ghost train. Thoughts on Icon? Love Icon. Icon Jacob, love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I think it's a fantastic ride. With social distancing, enough to put a lot of people into the park. Yeah, that's the biggest problem for them is people entering the park. That's the biggest problem they're going to have. It's better later so people can chill out. That's what I'm doing today, chilling out. I've had all week at work. I've got the weekend off. I'd usually be with these people. Although Cody's not returned, has he, from Fortnite?
No.
No, if you missed Cody dabbing earlier, you missed it. That's probably the best way of putting it.
He's not coming back.
He's not coming back.
So
Mary, I'm glad you've enjoyed the live stream tonight. Of course, we want more people joining. We'd love it. I hope Paulton's Park don't abandon Tornado Springs. Not a chance. Legoland looks dated and worn out. Some areas do. Imagination certainly does. Didn't they claim they fixed the big Lego dinosaur? They did claim. It wasn't working when we went. Don't forget New Gulliver's build. Yeah, Stephen, actually, yeah, very quickly. New Gulliver's theme park was due to open this year. Quickly, while I read through the rest of them, what do we think? Do we think that's still going to open? A few rides in the field, Kurt. Trackless dark ride. I'd like to see a trackless dark ride anywhere. Do you think Lightwall Valley will survive? And they're not. I hope so, Paul. I'm not convinced, but I hope so. Loving the live stream. Thank you, Ben. Glad you enjoyed it. Would you like to see Southport Pleasure Land with permanent coaster? I'd like to see him with a couple of permanent rides, let alone a permanent coaster. Something actually built other than the ghost train. I'd love to see that. Parks should all make VR lines. Yeah, I think they should. Chat room VR's really popular, it seems to be. It will open and stay open for Christmas. That's what Kieran thinks. So yeah, very quickly on the new Gulliver's Park, which is around the Leeds area, isn't it? Around the Leeds area. Do we think that's going to open still? And then very quickly as well in the chat, do you think that we will have more Christmas opening this year for theme parks?
I think so.
Do you think we should have spinners on the walls at Lightwater Valley? They need spinners on the walls for Lightwater Valley. It's god awful. Theme park and zoo crazy. It's my birthday on Sunday. Happy birthday. I hope you have a great one, whatever you're doing. Dave, sorry you're late. Yeah, we're wrapping up, Dave, but hopefully you watch it back. We've had a right rant today. We've had a right rant on things, and obviously anyone watching it back, please leave your comments below. So yes, so we think that the Gulliver's will still open this year. I don't know how close it was to completion, Gulliver's. I don't actually know when it was due to open in the first place. So it looked pretty much done.
Yeah, I've seen some pictures of it.
It did just look like a few rides in the film.
I think it was just grass on a couple of rides. They did have a pendulum though.
They did have a 360 pendulum they were opening. As Chessington removed their inverted ride, Gulliver's, who you can't even enter without a child.
Yeah, that's embarrassing, isn't it? Oh, you said you'd come back and choose 2 flat rides for Alton Towers.
Oh yes, 2 flat rides for Alton Towers. Ooh, what would we have? I would have a vortex style ride.
Oh, I was going to say like Maelstrom or Maelstrom, whatever it is at Drayton Manor.
Similar thing. Vortex style ride, 100%. And I would like to see something different.
Don't know.
Something high capacity, something different. Something like, maybe not something like super thrilling, but something for all.
Family.
But we'll see. Little G doesn't think that Gulliver's will open. Theme park going to use your app called Zoom. Yeah, Zoom, see your family and birthday. Excellent idea. They can do maintenance in January. Yeah, I think they will. When will your next vlog? When will your next vlog again? As soon as we can get out, we'll be vlogging again. We've got some videos coming up, and we will be doing some more live streaming as well. As soon as we are allowed to leave the house, we will be doing some things. Quite honestly, as soon as social distancing relax, even the theme parks aren't open, we will do some updates from our local parks. We will go down there and have a little look around. 100% do some updates. Mario, I'm not quite sure of the next live stream, but we will do one next week. It's been quite a long time since this one. The next one we've got to do on fairs. 100%, Kurt, got to do it on fairs.
Yeah.
Don't think we'll turn to normal for a couple of years. Let's hope not. Let's hope we get it. We get it done. Winter Wonderland might struggle. Let's wait and see, shall we? Let's wait and see. Right, thank you for joining us. Today. We have got some videos going up. Kurt is making videos very slowly as well to put up. We're going to see
To go.
We're going to see something soon, aren't we? We're going to see something soon. So yes, thank you very much for joining us today. Remember to leave a like, remember to share, and remember to subscribe if you're not already. And yeah, we've got a few videos going up. We've got some more Planet Coaster going up as well over the next week. There's one ready to go. So yeah, thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you next time. You can stay there, Kurt.